is Markiplier. Welcome to the video where I am ill-prepared to do the thing that the title says I'm going to do, but I'm going to do my best. Hi, everybody. I apologize if I seem like I'm in pain. It's because I am. My back just started hurting today. I have no idea why. It's not like I've been physically active, but my back is in incredible pain, and I don't know why. But I'm here later than I thought I would be. I said in the trailer that I posted for Iron Lung that I would be here yesterday, and I wasn't. Not because my back was hurting. Yeah, thank you. Just old. I know. Yeah. So I that's I guess it is. It really is. I just wake up some days and I'm just like, oh man, just fucking old. But I'm doing all right. There's a reason that I'm a day later than I thought I would be, which if you've watched the trailer and you haven't gone back to ironlung.com to check the website, there's more theaters. There's 6 times more theaters than there were when I posted the trailer. And I know you guys probably don't know the full details. I hope to talk a bit about it now. I I'm surprised, to say the least. I'm pleasantly surprised. And I think a lot of the theater owners are also pleasantly surprised. Well, they're probably hesitantly surprised at first, thinking it's some kind of a prank. Because you got to imagine for them, like these people, I mean, it's not like movie theaters aren't open on the weekends, but usually they plan what's going to happen on the weekends way in advance, and they probably go back, to take the weekend off, the people that actually manage the showings. But then they get all these emails and people asking for things for getting theaters in, and all of a sudden they're getting bombarded with emails. And it's so funny because it's not like you guys are spamming them with emails. I am actually really appreciative that you guys are keeping it to your local theaters, as opposed to everyone just blanket sweeping everything, because they'll be like, we've gotten like 30 emails about this. Is there an ad campaign? And I'm like, that feels like a pretty reasonable number of people to ask for a movie. But I have heard that this is unprecedented, which is very strange to me. Because, and also I am astonished at how polite you guys are. You guys have been incredibly polite. I've seen your sample emails. Like across the board, you guys have been very kind, very understanding, not demanding. And I think that goes to show a lot about you guys and how you're approaching this, and just like the genuineness of the ask. And I really, truly, honestly appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat, but please give it to literally any other streamer at the moment. I do appreciate though, and I appreciate you guys. So yeah, we started off with, yes, please pay your bills. Definitely pay your bills. We started off with about, I think it was about 50 to 60 theaters on the initial, and I know people were like, wow, it's not in my area, but that very, very quickly changed. There's, just before this stream, they've been coming in batches, right? And one thing about doing this independently is we're doing it independently, which means there's a couple people that are helping on terms of the negotiating with the theaters, but a lot of it is just, they're working the weekend, and they didn't expect to be working the weekend. And then I'm manually parsing the theater address, and Amy is putting it into the website, and we're trying to get the thing updated. If you go to the website and you check out the map, we had to update it because apparently the Google Map API was costing a lot of money to get directions for, so we had to come up. Amy, I mean, I say we. I didn't do anything in this. But I'm going to lag. Oh, it's because I'm trying to download. Hang on, let me limit that. Sorry. Hold on. Hold on. I know why that's happening. I was no, I think it's okay actually. Let me yeah, that'll be fine. It'll be fine. What was I talking about? You made me completely forget. Can we get a spoiler? No. No, you can't get a spoiler. But I do want to talk about it because I'm finally able to. What I'm trying to do. Oh, what I'm trying to do in the background is I'm trying to download some of the behind the scenes stuff that I was supposed to have here, but it's on a different hard drive at the moment, and I don't have it right now. It's a long story, but it's been a little busy this weekend trying to do all this stuff. Not that I'm complaining at all. The only thing I'm complaining about is my back pain, but that's a completely different story. I am so. I'm thrilled. Like really, I am genuinely excited. I'm so happy that that this has gotten the response it did. It hasn't even really. I wouldn't even call this like a crazy response in comparison to everything else. You know, I think that this is just something that I expected because I have a very good, I think, understanding of my audience and you guys out there and what you're capable of. I know you guys break websites all the time. I know you guys show up in force for things when you really believe in something, and that's always been something that I just have admired about this community that you guys have built. Basically, I mean, I almost feel distant from it given how much I've been working on this and other things at the same time, but I'm still honored because I've been so busy with this and life and other things that have been going on and other work that I've had and other obligations that I've been having and other obligations that I'm putting on myself and trying to do too much, obviously trying to do too much. Whenever I'm doing these things where I'm like, I'm really tired or I'm trying to do too much or it's like things are getting behind, it's not because I'm trying to go for some trophy of, wow, look at me, how much I do. I'm the greatest ever. Me and my big, strong muscles can take on the world. That is not what I'm doing it for. It's because I have a sense of responsibility to finish what's on my plate, and I have a sense of responsibility for the people in my life, and I have this, I don't know, I have this kind of anxiety about not being able to be there for things that I care about or people that I care about, and so I want to be able to do it all, and I know that I can't do that. But we're here now at this point, way later past the time when I thought it would be, but we're here, and it's really just, yeah, it's really just going to be incredible. I was never going to put the names of all the members in the credits. That would be the longest credits ever. It's going to be a credit of thank you to the members of the YouTube Markiplier channel. If you thought that all the names were going to be in there, look, even the unions wouldn't allow that. And I usually don't. I usually try of like, obviously the unions are a part of this and they are negotiating on behalf of all the people. And what I'm going to say sounds like me. That's just like, ooh, those, but it's hard when I go to the union negotiations. This is way back when it was all starting, right? Because it's a union shoot. And so I go to the union negotiations and I say, yes, I want to pay people fairly. I want to do this right. There's a few quirks that I want to do. I want to edit it, but I've got editors and yada yada, and I think they're so used to these studios coming at them just being like combative to every single possible. So they come at me aggressively because they're waiting for a fight, and I'm not there to fight because I'm like, yeah, I want to pay people well, and I want to feed them well, I want to treat them well, I want to do all these things. They're like, how dare you? You're gonna treat them well and feed them well and pay them well. And I'm like, oh, you got me. All right, you twisted my arm about it. Anyway, so yeah, that's a whole other thing. But what was I saying about that? Oh yeah. With the credits, right? There are rules, right? There's a lot of rules, and I will say, one thing to basically take from all this is I think you all have discovered this over the past few years, at least, if you're a movie fan or any kind of person that's in the world of video entertainment in one way or another. There is something fundamentally broken with the movie industry and the system that it is. And I'm not even talking about like, oh crap, lag. Oh, God, why? No! They're trying to take me out, guys. They're trying to take Wise. God. It's because I'm trying to do that. Hold on. I don't think I'm ever going to get all this going, but I want to try. Let me limit that. Hold on. Oh, crap! Oh, no! I have to disappear under my desk for a little bit. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. I gotta do a thing because I kind of forgot a thing. Bear with me. Everything's fine. Everything is okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. I've been switching computers a lot, and I sometimes forget which computer has Ethernet, because it's like my job to be a guy on the internet, and I don't know how I keep forgetting things like this that are very basic. Because even before this, I'm like, man, I'm trying to download this BTS that I had. I wonder why it's going so slow. It's inexplicable. It's inexplicable. Couldn't be that my Ethernet's not plugged in. It's inexplicable. God. And it's really funny because, man, my computer must have been sweating. My computer must have been just Spider-Man 2 with the train. Because there's no Wi-Fi antenna plugged into this thing. So it's just the two nubs on the back of the motherboard that are just struggling to pull all the Wi-Fi in from under my desk. So I think it should be impressive that it was doing it anyway. So yeah, I think that honestly we should all be very appreciative of my motherboard and its Wi-Fi capabilities, that it was even doing that at all, and the little bit of lag is very forgivable for what it was having to endure, and so that's great. Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, something fundamentally broken about the movie industry, which I could go in a lot of detail for, but I'm not even talking about like the interpersonal stuff. Some of the things that has taken me a very long time to make this movie is, yes, I mean, I've been working on it for a while, but honestly, you would be surprised at how little time I've had to work on it throughout the week, like considering all the other obligations that I have. And the way my brain works, I'm not good at like picking things up and putting them down. I had to work in basically small sprints all the time, because when I had the other things in my life that I had to handle, all very important, all things that mattered, all things that could not be ignored. Some things took bigger priorities than other. Obviously this past year with Henry and losing him, and also trying to give him, as much as we possibly could in terms of like life and seeing the world and spending time with him. That was obviously one of the highest priorities, but I had other things that I had obligations to, even if I had enjoyment out of it. Like the podcast was definitely something that the podcasts, plural, was something that I definitely had to take care of, and I kept up with, and I'm very proud of that I was able to keep doing that. Very few episodes got missed, but when it came down to it, that left maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week to really concentrate on working on the movie, and that's if I wasn't completely wiped from doing all the other things that I had to do. And so it made it very difficult, because with ADHD, picking something up and then down and keeping that same passion with it as much as possible, was a very difficult thing. So when it comes to trying to get something done, I wouldn't always have the same motivation or the same kind of concentration that I would have, where something would come up, or I'd have a technical problem. That was the worst, where I'd have my 1 to 2 days to work on something, and I would have a technical issue that would get in the way of me doing it on the 1 or 2 days that I had to work on the thing. And usually that would be the weekends, because it would just be, that would be the day when no one else would bother me. So I was it was the days when no one else would bother me. So it would be the days that I could concentrate and actually focus on something without having any distractions. Oh yeah, and thank you all so much for the Henry commemorations and the fan art. It's just really beautiful. It has just been, I mean, it's been really hard. It has. I'm not gonna lie. We had a few delays, because of that. But we had another delay recently because there was usually when we finish these things out, there's like a final sound mix, right? Because sound is usually the last step. And we were doing it, and I think it was like the week that we had to say goodbye was the first week of those last few weeks of sound mix, so that had to be pushed. I mean, it wasn't really pushed, but it's not like the work could have been done, so I had to get something again. And so things, life just really catches up. I would love to be in a situation in the future where I don't have to split my attention like this. It would be done a lot sooner. But at the same time, there are other reasons why it took longer, and that is largely because I think that there is a fundamental problem in terms of making things like this that get in the way of people making things like this. And it's part of this industry that many great things have come out. I'm never trying to disparage the movie industry as a whole, but I will disparage the movie industry as a whole because I'm a jackass who's stepping into this acting like I know things, but I kind of know things a little bit here. So so get ready for me to disparage the entire movie industry as a whole. It's so disjointed. It's so partitioned. It's so separated. It's so multiple islands trying to control everything at once. As much as they like to harp on about there's a cohesive vision and a director there's nothing people like more to do than to squash that vision at every turn possible. And I'm not talking like this movie had amazingly talented people on it. I'm not talking about the crew or anything like that. I'm talking about in general. There is this general acceptance, this wide understanding that this is the way things are and this is the way things must be because this is how it's always been done. And if you don't do it this way, then it'll never be anything worth anything. It's gatekeeping to an elitist level. And admittedly, it is a very difficult thing. But I want to reiterate, as everyone seems to have forgotten, I am an Emmy-nominated creator. I have made things. I have made many things before. I was at the Emmys for a thing I made. I didn't win, but I was there. But it's one of those things where it doesn't mean anything, right? It doesn't mean anything. But I don't care that it doesn't mean anything. So I'm not going to let that stop me. I never meant anything in the first place. When I started YouTube, I didn't mean a goddamn thing to nothing. I don't think I mean much of shit right now. I'm still going to make it. I'm still going to make things to the best of my ability. And what I've done over the past few years is try to build out the infrastructure because I want to keep doing this and I want to keep making more things and I want to enable the people that I know and care about to be able to make the things that they want to make. I want to kind of try to build some kind of a road forward here. I've been building the infrastructure so that it will be not only easier to do this, but I will not even have to deal with the people that are obstructionist to the process because it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter what anybody who says otherwise thinks or does. It doesn't matter at all. And I think that one of the cool things about this is that what we're seeing with the movie theaters is kind of indicative of that. There is a want to go see movies. There is a yearning to go see them. There is. And the business can work. But for some reason, everyone in this industry thinks that a movie needs to cost $200 million and needs to be XYZ and BCA and whatever. It's absurd. And I've never cared before. So why am I going to stop now? Because other people say no. So I'm not going to. And one of the things that I discovered is it's broken in more than one ways, because say someone does make something, right? Because the technology is there for pretty much anybody to make what they want to make to differing levels of qualities. Like for things that are bigger, you do need more people. You need people of multiple talents. I have a lot of skills myself, but I do not have all the skills to be able to carry every part of this all the way. I don't think I ever would. I don't think I ever should. But when you have, let's say you have a group of people that have made something like this, and they have a product, but what if they don't have a YouTube channel? They don't have an audience that wants to see it or has heard about it or got excited about it and requested it. They have to go through the traditional system, and the traditional system is fundamentally broken because they take it, all of it. Like that's the reality of some of the deals that have come across my desk in terms of looking into the traditional means of getting this movie out there. Is they want all of it. You get a pittance. Like, it's not even about the money. It's about, that's my thing. You didn't make that. You had nothing to do with making that. What are you talking about? That's so weird that you would come in here and say, I have the keys to the kingdom. Look at all my success, burning buildings behind them. Look at all of my golden road to movie glory. Piles of poop and trash everywhere. And so it's just it's nearly absurd to think about, but that is the reality of some of these the choices, if you can even call it that, the choices that come out there. And then this week is kind of a funny thing about it is because you got the announcement that Warner Brothers being sold potentially. I don't know if it's going to go through or not, but being sold to Netflix for like some $80 billion. And the crazy thing was, I was just at Warner Brothers. I was just at their sound mixing stage. Like the week before, I was just there. I know it doesn't mean like all of a sudden everyone Netflix came in and was like, throw all this shit out of here, put a big N everywhere. But I was just there. That didn't make any sense to me, right? So suddenly, it's just such a weird coincidence that all these things are happening there. Yeah, just absolutely bananas. Yeah. So when it comes to Iron Lung, and yes, we're trying to add as many theaters as possible. When is it coming to Canada? So this is the thing that I've harped on forever. It's difficult. It's difficult. It is just hard, but I want to make it not as hard. That's all I want, because now that people are asking for it, very politely, I might add, now that people are asking for it, more theaters get FOMO about not getting in on this project. That's how it goes. Like, a business is a business. They want to make money. So when they see that the movie theater down the road is selling out their theaters, they're going to want a piece of that, because all they're beholden to is what the movie industry is making. And if the movie industry is making garbage, then they're not going to sell any tickets. But they're entirely dependent on that. They're entirely dependent on that, which is crazy. Because those things are it's just mind-blowing, the kind of stakes that they put up to justify their own existences, and their levels of success are so distorted that it all comes all over the place. So it's hard enough in the United States, in the country that I live in, to get this going. But it's easier now. And I just need to remind everyone, we're still doing it ourselves. It doesn't suddenly become not ourselves, because if we ever get to the point where it's like, oh yeah, let's jump over to this level, there's the people that I told you about that are going to be holding their hand out like this, asking for 70-80% of your project, are still going to be there. They're just at a different border. They're just at a different gate. They're at the gates to Canada. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do this in a way that doesn't give away all of the movie to people that, technically speaking, by all proven metrics that I have right now, don't need to be there. So we're at this interesting place where I think tomorrow is going to be a very strange day. Tomorrow is how do you request one at a theater that doesn't have it? You just send an email, I think, or you call. They usually have a number or they have an email for that, but really truly only give only contact for suggestion to the theaters that are in your local area, because last thing I want is people spamming a bunch of theaters that aren't in your local area. This has been very effective because a lot of people have just been contacting the theater that they are close to, and really the tipping point for getting them to act on something is not very high. It's like 10-20 people can get them to start acting on something, and that's really impressive. And I've always said, back when I first started the channel, when I hit like 10,000 subscribers, I have a video out that I basically talk about imagining 10,000 people in the same place, right? And that was, imagining that is an astronomical number. I think even during our tour, we did not have a show that had 10,000 seats in it, because that's just a very big show, right? And so these movie theaters, sometimes you go to a movie and there's like 30 seats and there's 2 people up in the back row and they're mad because you interrupted their private viewing. But that's the crazy thing about this is like, it's a very, I love it in a way because it's very funneled. It's extremely funneled to a weirdly personal experience for someone in a dark room that a lot of people are in, right? But when I go from the bird's eye view where I am and looking at all these things, like the branching paths that get down to the individual theaters, and thinking about how they're like, wow, there are over 300 theaters that are going to be showing Iron Lung now. And how that's a fraction of it. But I look at the map. If you go on the map, you'll notice a little surprise that Amy put in there for where your theater is. Also, you can search by state now, so you can go onto the website ironlung.com, and if you go on buy tickets, you can see the map of where everything is, and you can go. If there's any websites that aren't working on there, please, on my Discord, mention that. Again, we're doing it all, so if we don't get the right website in somewhere, we don't know until it's, I mean, I've been checking them as I go through. I try to check and make sure that they all work, or they point generally to the right place, but it's all us doing it by ourselves. Yeah. Oh, and I'm glad you guys liked the trailer. I was really happy with that one. I'm very, very pleased with that one. And I'm so happy to finally be able to show you guys some of it. I feel crazy sometimes not being able to talk about this. It's just, I don't know, it's really cool. I had to deal with getting the movie rated, which was a fun experience. There was actually someone who watched my videos at the MPAA who I was communicating with, so thank you very much. I really appreciate your help. It's not like you got me any benefits. I'm not trying to say you did me any. Okay, you helped me because you were like, yeah, I'll get you scheduled because you're late. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. So really appreciate it. But, it's still rated R. So it's not like I was squeezing. This was never going to be PG-13. Let's all admit it. It was never going to be PG-13. But there's a lot of rules and stipulations and things that I'm still working through and still trying to catch up with because it's just super fun. But, yeah, I'm really happy with where it's at. I'm really happy because we did the kind of premiere as premiere will get with this thing. It was the premiere. I don't know why I'm hesitant to call it the premiere. It's because there's still a few little VFX fixes that I need to do. But it's not NC-17. It's rated R. Rated R is crazy. I don't think it is. Is that crazy? What do you mean? Oh, unless you're being sarcastic. I don't know. See, I want to do all the things. I want to do the popcorn buckets, but the thing is, doing it ourselves. So I guess I'll be at the plastic mold injection factory pumping out those plastic buckets. Get your fish head buckets here. Get your bucket of fish heads. Get a free fish head with every bucket. It's delicious. You get to the bottom of your popcorn, it's a bloody fish head. It's really good. Don't worry, guys. I wish, man. I would love to do stuff like that. Will the butter be red? God, I hope so. I don't think I can change that. But, oh, man. That is great. Yeah. Will Iron Lung 2 be rated X? Yes. Yes, absolutely. 1000%. But I will fight it, and I'll say like it's an artistic sex scene with the fish. It's just artistic. It's part of my vision. My vision. I need to have that in there. It's look, David didn't want it, but I said, you know who I am. You know me, who I am. Do you know me, David? Do you know me? Anyway, yeah, artistic with yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is. We still want to do the blood drive. I still want to do the blood drive, right? But again, when we call the Red Cross and we're like, hey, I got a really bloody movie, but I got fans with a lot of blood in them. You like blood? I got a movie about blood. I got fans with blood in them. They could lose a little. And so I call them and they hang up on me, and I don't know what that's about. Like, you guys got so much blood, you got blood gushing out your ears or something. I don't know. Right? You got blood, right? You're not going to be greedy with your blood, are you? So why not give a little? So I call up, I call them and they're saying no, or they say, ah! And they hang up, and I don't know why they do that. So this is whatever. Sacrificing you. No. But I want to do the blood drive. So it won't be worldwide. Look, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to do because here's how it's difficult, right? Let me illustrate to you. Canada, I think will happen. I do. I think it's a natural transition. You mostly speak English up there. It's no brainer, right? The UK, possibly that too. They got blood over there. Australia, full of blood, right? New Zealand, blood, English. It's no brainer, right? Since I'm doing this all myself, I have to call a theater in Japan, and I have to talk to them. Hey, you want my movie? And even if they speak English, they're going to be like, is it in Japanese? And I'm going to be like, no. Is it translated into Japanese? I don't have a guy that can do that. I got to find a guy to do that. All right, call us when you do. And that's even if I get a hold of someone, right? That's the truth. That is absolutely how it works. If you think that it's any fancier than that, it's not. That is how it works. You call a theater or they email you and you're like, hey, you want this movie? And they're like, yeah, we want the movie. And if you're both speaking English, great. Everything's going off swimmingly, right? But if they don't speak English or if I don't speak their language and the movie's not translated in that language, that shit ain't going nowhere, all right? Now, I'm not saying it's not possible. There are companies that make these things and make the translations and make it all work together, right? There are companies that do that, but you gotta find them and you gotta work with it. You gotta call them and you be like, hey, who's gonna voice me in another language? I don't speak those languages, So it's I know a lot of people speak English in a lot of these other countries. But also use your imagination. Am I in every theater in America? Not yet anyway. So if it's hard, you know why I'm not? Because they go like, will it sell? Will it? Will we sell? Do we want to take a risk on you, sir? With 38 million only? That's only a tenth of the population. I don't know about that one. So they in America are not all on board yet. I go to the Philippines and they're like, how many Philippines subscribers do you have? Interesting. That's not a proportion of our population. What do you think we're going to take a risk on you? So, yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. I definitely believe that I have fans in a lot of countries. I actually see the analytics for it sometimes whenever I feel bothered to look at that stuff. So we're working on it. We're working on it. It is being worked. It is working. I appreciate it. I appreciate the volunteer to be a Spanish translator. And I think maybe someday crowdsourcing this stuff, it would make a lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense. Although I feel like you guys would mess with the subtitles like you did on my videos a while ago. So, you just put your own jokes in there, and I don't think that would be really topical in a story like this. I think if you put your own jokes in there, it might kind of ruin the experience a little bit, and people might think I'm just some kind of a hack filmmaker, and it would ruin the artistic sex scene with the fish. It just might ruin it, and you might put it. I don't know. You might ruin it. So I don't know if I can trust you about that one. Yeah. What's the process of getting in a state that I'm not in? Oh, look, things are flooding in right now. They're literally flooding in, and there's an acceleration to it, right? So just over the weekend, there have been 250 more movie theaters added, right? We're up over 300 movie theaters total right now, and we started with 50 or 60. I can't remember what. All right, you heard me, artistic. You heard me. So Monday is going to be a very interesting day. Because we're going to get all the businesses that were not looking at emails or trying to get a hold of people or trying to make calls over the weekend. And then Monday is going to be very interesting, and I think we're going to get a lot more, which is really cool. Oh, your theater's added. Good. Yes, check the website regularly. We are literally, and by we, I mean me and Amy, are literally adding the movie theaters regularly. Oh, yeah, no, 200 movie theaters is a lot. 300 movie theaters for an independent release is actually crazy. There have been people that have been talking about this that are really curious of why this is happening. And if anyone would ever listen to me, they would. I've been telling them straight up, like, hey, I've got an audience. I have a YouTube channel. I know you don't think much of that, but there's actual people behind those numbers, because that's kind of a big thing for me, is that all the numbers are people, and so you gotta always keep that in mind. And if you forget that there are people behind the numbers, then you're just gonna kind of distort your perception of reality, and you're gonna lose sight of what you're doing this all about. Anyway, long story short, there's people that want to see it. I would tell people that I did a tour. I did a live tour in America, in Europe, in Australia. I did a live tour. And we were selling out 1,000-seat venues, way bigger than movie theaters, selling them out. They didn't give a shit. They couldn't give a shit. Yeah, right. Oh, oh, wink, wink, you did. And I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. But now, anyway, all that aside, it's really cool that we're here. It's just really cool. I'm incredibly grateful. I am stupendously grateful. Like, truly, it has been such a labor of love and passion and anxiety and just learning. And I want to talk about all of it in so much detail that I wouldn't even have time, even if I stream for 12 hours, to be able to talk about all of this. So to be able to be here and thank you guys in person is crazy. I think that, I might actually be a little quiet. You might be right about that. Okay. That's definitely better. That's definitely better. Definitely better. Is that better? That's probably better. Yeah. So I'm sorry, everybody. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean it like that. So I'm incredibly grateful, and I'm super thankful, and it means a ton to be able to share this with you guys. And I want to talk about how it was filmed. I want to talk about the struggles with it. I want to talk about dealing with the quantity of blood. The logistics of that was something that we had to plan way in advance. And I wish we had done a lot more pre-production. There was kind of a time constraint with where we were filming a whole other story. Something that also, through some real wrenches in production. If you are ever going into this, make sure that you aren't in a place where you are constrained in terms of time. One of the things that makes me able to do what I do is the ability to pivot when things happen. I'm not the type of creator or director that when something goes wrong, it has to be that or it's all else. I pivot fast. I am all about a pivot. If something isn't working, I value time above almost everything else. But you need to have buffers to be able to account for those pivots and changing things on the fly and being able to be dynamic about what you're doing. Because if you can't handle these problems where a plan meets the real world and you're not able to pivot about it, then you're not going to be able to get anything done, because you're going to be so bogged down in what you wanted that you're not going to see what other potential there is. And I think that's a very important lesson that I want to harp on, and it's not something I'm perfect about, but I think I'm very good at it, actually. But I had time constraints and where we were for other reasons are a whole other mess of webs of complicated bullshit that I don't want to get into. But long story short, met Robert Rodriguez. That makes it sound like he's the fault of this. That's not what it's all about. But that is, if you were to trace all of the paths that led to that thing happening, I met Robert Rodriguez. There you go. That's really, I'm going to leave it at that, because I love the mystery of what that is. That has so many implications that I'm never going to clarify, right? Okay. So, it's oh man. So we it's something that has spanned a lot of nonsense going all around, right? So there's a lot of nonsense going around, but there's a lot of really cool things that came out of it. So logistics of the blood is one of them. And the quantity of blood that we always knew we were going to have was phenomenal. A phenomenal quantity of blood, right? So much blood. Okay? All right. Cool. So the blood that we used is we did blood research, right? So I now know almost every type of blood that you could possibly make, buy, make up blood, large quantity blood. I know just about every of the fake bloods. I even know we didn't do this, but I not gonna lie, it wasn't presented as an option, where real blood. Don't ask questions about it. Just go to the blood drive I'm setting up, It's for a great cause. You just want to go right up there. It's actually way more than that. 35,000 gallons is not what it was. It's over 80,000 gallons of blood that was used on this movie. I have to redo the calculations because we used more on a couple pickup shoots, right? No. We didn't use real blood. That is a joke. That is completely a joke. We used this glycerin-based blood, which actually we got because it's safe to have all over me, right? It's safe to be everywhere. So supposedly, my eyes disagree, but it's so I have over 80,000 gallons of blood, right? The first order was on a semi-truck. Like, it wasn't a semi-truck that was just a very large, it wasn't a cylinder, but it had those 250-gallon farm crates of blood. And I'm sure people driving down the highway, because you just see all these big red sloshing containers of something that looks suspiciously like blood, and there's just is just flying down the road. So the way that I did it, 80,000 gallons, instant R rating. Yep. It's funny. I think the R rating in the text that it says below it is for language, some bloody images, and some gore. I don't know. I feel like some little bit of an underestimation, but whatever. It's fine. So the first order was on a semi truck of nothing but these big 250-gallon containers, and that's undiluted, right? So they ship this stuff concentrated. At least the stuff that I wanted. There's some movies that dye water red for that quantity. It's like, I'm not going to do that. It needs to look like an ocean of blood. It needs to do that. So we got a bunch of that. And so we did our calculations based on the actual quantity used in the filming process, right? So that we have a quantifiable metric. We have a flow rate of the pumps that we used to bring the blood in. We know how long we were running them. We know exactly like the quantity that was made out of the diluted batch. And then we know how much quantity the spaces that it was filling could hold, right? Because we had to plan for it in accordingly way back in the beginning of it. Because one of the things that you don't realize is that blood, not just blood, water, any liquid weighs a lot. So when we have our set that is on a motion control rig, right? So our entire set the entire time was on something called a NACMO. And you can look up what a NACMO is. And the person who was controlling it, Nick, great guy, very fun. He had a really good time. But if you look up, I think it's NACFX, right? So NACFX. So you can kind of get a general sense of what they have. They have a couple different sizes. We had nearly the biggest one, but I don't think we had the biggest one. But it has a weight limit, right? It has an absolute calculated limit of the amount of weight that it can throw around. So you have to calculate that, right? If you don't want to. And the problem is because it's off the ground, right? So our entire set was off the ground on a motion control rig so that it could do this. You know, it could do that. And it did do that. And I was in there. Oh! I want to show you eventually a BTS shot of the outside of it as I'm in there, and you can hear my distant screams as I'm getting chucked around in there. And so it's really difficult to anticipate what those forces of chucking around all that weight is going to do. So you reinforce the set. Like there was a lot of metal and welding going into the set. Like it wasn't all metal because we couldn't do that because it'd be too heavy if it was all metal. But it had to have metal because it had to be reinforced strong enough to be able to hold up not only to the motion control rig, which can throw all of its weight, everything it's holding at half a G of acceleration, half a unit of gravity of acceleration, 4.9 meters per second of acceleration of moving things. Anything that's up on top of it can move that much, right? So when you have that much blood in that much space above that much air going chuck that, the last thing you want is about 10,000 gallons of blood to slam through the wall and splash onto all of the waiting camera equipment. Everyone in the makeup department just, ah! Yeah, as a tsunami of blood goes out and floods Troublemaker Studios, and then Robert Rodriguez opens the door like, what the? Ah! And a tsunami of blood takes him out. Yeah, anyway, so that's the math that you have to do when you're trying to do this thing. So it's not even just like, it's not even just like logistically, it's a challenge. When you see this movie, a lot of people might be like, oh yeah, record for most blood. It's like, if you see this movie, it's unquestionable. There is no argument to make about it. You watch this movie, you're going to walk out of being like, oh yeah, it's going to be really hard for any other movie to beat that amount of blood. And I'm not even saying this, like, I say it because it's a fun headline. It's not even something that we were aiming for, right? We weren't intending to be like, yeah, we're going to have the most, it's an ocean of blood. You have to have a lot of blood. So we had a lot of blood. It was great. It was awesome. It was super fun. Yeah. Anyway. Well, I was talking, there was a whole other reason that I was talking. Pre-planning, right? Planning. Oh, man. Actually, here's the thing. Between practical and CGI, there is a very, very strong difference between where fluid simulations are versus like the real thing. However, that being said, one of the reasons that I built my render farm was to be able to match the fidelity of what the real stuff was in a simulated capacity. And I accomplished that. My render farm is stupidly powerful. Like, stupidly powerful. My render farm would probably put many not big VFX, I'm not talking ILM, but some small business VFX shops to shame, and it's in my bathroom. And I bet I built that shit for a fraction of the price that they would have paid for it, because I'm the king of eBay and getting those deals and chips that fall off of trucks. They're all mine. I know how to find them, and I know how to get them. Anyway, so yeah. But my electricity bill is really bad. I can't wait to not have to render anything anymore. My electricity bill is unbelievably bad. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, why was it in my bathroom again? Where else am I? I don't have any other place to put it. I don't have any other place to put it. With it, we had an extra bathroom that wasn't really being used, and that's where it went. That's all. I didn't choose because the bathroom was optimal for the faucets there. It can water cool the whole thing. It'd be really easy. No, it's just like it's the only space I had, so I had to put it there. That's all it was. It made sense at the time. Now it doesn't make any sense at all, but it did. It still makes sense. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Yeah. Have I never shown you a picture of my? Have I really never? Wait, hold on. Have I never shown a picture of this? Have I never shown you guys a picture of my render farm? Your theater was sold out. They are adding more screens and more show times at certain theaters. If you checked before and your movie theater was sold out, check back again in a day or so, and you will probably see it again in the near future. Oh, God. Where is a picture of this? So I have a ramshackle first version of it, and then I did a whole overhaul of it. I cleaned it all. I disassembled everything and I reassembled it. It took me like 2 days to do. I mean, the whole thing took me weeks and weeks and weeks to do. Oh man, where the hell is this? No. Oh, man, I thought I would have had this in my favorites or something, but I do not. Wow, I don't. Huh. Damn it, where would this be? I should have looked this up beforehand. Sorry, everybody. Entertain yourself. Go to ironlung.com and check to see if your theater's there. Just seeing Henry pictures, which is really cool, by the way. I don't bemoan that. It is very cute. Oh man, there's a lot of Henry pictures. That's all. Man, I'm having trouble finding it. It's just like non-stop pictures of Henry, which is great, you know. All right, I'm at the part where I should have found it by now. I don't know what's the deal. I should have had it. Why is it not here? I don't know. I'll look for it again at some other time. It's a lot of pictures of Henry over there. Yeah, but it looks like someone intentionally made a computer room that was supposed to look like from Mad Max or something. There's hoses everywhere of air conditioning units on the ground. Just take a picture. I have to go. I'm not going to go over to it. See, it looks clean now. Well, it doesn't look clean. It's still kind of a ramshackle mess. But it's just there. No, I can't. Oh, man, I got to find it. Just, I'm going to find it. I have to find it. It must exist. Okay. That's something. Wait. Oh, nearly. Okay, wait. I'm in the right space. I'm in roughly the right time. I saw a picture of the first stages of it. Okay, that's second stage. Okay, it's getting closer. Okay. All right, okay. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Okay, there's that. There's that. Oh, it has to be here. Oh, come on. This is the time when it would exist. There's all of those. Sticks of memory. Where the hell is it? I swear. Oh, come on. Well, this is just embarrassing now. I'm officially a bad streamer. I can't even find this. I'm just chewing up dead air here. Where is it? I can't find it. It was right there. Oh, I found it. Oh my God, I found it. Okay, wait. I did actually find it. Okay, hold on. No, not that one. Okay, hold on. Is that going to focus? So, as you can see, what formerly was a bathroom is a ramshackle assembly of a server rack, some battery backups, various computers everywhere, and what you can't see around the corner is about 50 Mac Studios. So yeah, this is actually before I put even more stuff in here, and I think I might have dragged some things out just to be able to fit some more in there. It's much cleaner now than it was then. It looks very nice. Looks really good. Like really super good. So, yeah. So that's not even that's a massive It is not a massive bathroom. Excuse me. It's a wide angle picture. I've lost the picture now. I'll never. That is a perfectly reasonable one toilet bathroom. One toilet, one shower bathroom. What kind of bathroom you have? What kind of closet ass toilet you got? Huh? That's a giant. It's not a huge bathroom. It's a wide angle picture. It's like 6 times the size of your bathroom. How small is your bathroom? Stop acting like I have a gigantic mansion-sized bathroom. It's a perfectly reasonable sized bathroom. Look, I will not take this slander that I am some big bathroom haver. I have a very reasonable sized bathroom, all right? My bathroom is dainty. All right, dainty. Okay? It's a wide angle picture. You never seen a wide angle picture? It can make a space look bigger than it was. Okay? All right? My bathroom is so small. All right? It is so small. I don't want to hear any of this about how it's all big bathroom. Anyway, let me show you a panorama of it. Okay. So this is what it is now. You want to see how huge my bathroom is. Get ready for this. You ready to see the biggest bathroom you've ever seen in your life? All right, here we go. Ready? Gasp at this. Yeah. Jealous of my big old bathroom? Yep, that's a big one, huh? Oh yeah. Yeah. Take it all in. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's my render farm as it currently exists. Very powerful, very strong, very big, huge actually. Yeah, it's a panorama, but I don't care. That shows an accurate representation of what the bathroom is. I don't think anybody could disagree that panorama is the truest way to really encapsulate a space. Yeah, golden toilet. Cable management actually looks pretty clean. It did at one point. I don't know if you looked at the same picture I did, but I'm looking at it now. I'm like, I made the attempt at cable management, right? Because that was after I ripped everything out and put it all back together. Yeah. So size of your dorm? No, it's not. All right, it's not the size of your dorm room. Okay, that bathroom is smaller than this office. How big do you think my office? How big do you think my office is? How big do you think my office is? Look me in the eye. How big is my office? How can you be sure that any of this is real? How can you be sure that you're real? Sorry. I know that's probably not a good thing to say for the people who might be dissociating. Anyway, we're all real. Definitely. Okay, anyway, it's a perfectly reasonable bathroom. 1,500 square foot bathroom. It is not. Oh, this room. You think this is 1,500 square feet? Could be. Might be. Might be close to that. Okay. 4.5 Markipliers long. Okay, I gotta tell you, Lixian visited, and he walked in here, and he was like, wow, this is way fucking smaller than I thought it was. It is deceptively. It looks deceptively big. I don't. Look, I have a bathroom bigger than that bathroom that the render farm's in, all right? And I'm telling you, that bathroom, perfectly reasonable bathroom, right? Perfectly reasonable bathroom. It has 2 sinks. And someone's going to be like, oh, you got 2 sinks. Yeah, I do. What of it? 1 toilet, shower, and tub. What are you going to do about it? Huh? I'm a YouTuber. You think I don't deserve a bathroom with 2 sinks in it? Huh? And a tub and a shower separate. They're separate. Huh? Yeah, I bet you're jealous of that. See, that's a big bathroom. That's a big bath. That other one, not a big bathroom. You could not fit that in there. It can only have shower, toilet. It's 1 sink. That's all it had. You think 2 sinks? Yeah, 2 sinks. Yeah, 2 sinks. Oh, you're going to be so jealous. You're going to be so jealous. I don't just have 2 bathrooms. I don't just have 2. Well, actually, I'm down 1 because the render farm's in 1. I don't just have 2. I got fucking 3. Well, I got 2, but come at me. Come at me, man. Live in a fucking castle. Yeah, man. So look, man. Look, man. Fine. Don't question it. Oh, yeah, right. You have 4 bathrooms. Yeah, fucking right. No one has 4 bathrooms. 3? What for? Pooping. Render farm. What else would people have bathrooms for? Duh. Idiot. Ow. Slap myself in my eyes. How did I do that? I don't know. I can stop now. I will never. I'll never. I'm never gonna do that. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something important about the movie. Anyway, thank you. The movie website is being updated all the time. I think I'm gonna actually check to see if there's more movie theaters that have been added. They have been working through the weekend. The couple people that are helping us with this. So I do appreciate it that they've been doing that. I don't know how to... It's very bright. But I can't be one of those weak dark mode people with their weak eyes. I have big, strong eyes. I'm not pathetic like the people that enjoy dark mode on things. I like being strong with bright mode, you know? I call it dim mode for those that like the dark color scheme, you know, for they're a little dim. Meanwhile, us bright mode likers, we actually are very smart, way smarter than anyone else, actually. It's true. It's true. Absolutely true. Not like any of those demos over there. What was I saying? I don't know. It would have gone over the heads of everyone that looks in dark mode. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we got more. Ooh, we got more. We got Malco movie theaters. So we just got movie theaters in. This is where I actually realized that I don't know 2-letter state names perfectly. We just got another one in Michigan. We got a bunch in Michigan last time. I think that's Mississippi. We got a few in Tennessee now. We did have Tennessee, but I know a lot of people were requesting Tennessee. We got 3 more in Tennessee. Collarville. Wait, hang on, let me put this over here. Yeah, check the website ironlung.com for any of this and make sure that all is well. And check those websites. If they aren't working, please let us know. We're trying our best. It's not working a lot. Not working very well sometimes. Okay, so we have we got Howell, Michigan, South Haven, Mississippi or Missouri? No, wait. Oh God, what have I done? Mississippi. That is Mississippi. I knew that was Mississippi. I knew it. I knew that was. We got Collarville, Tennessee, Cordova, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, Oxford, Mississippi, Corinth, Mississippi, Smyrna, Tennessee. That's a fun city. Smyrna. Madison, Mississippi, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Rogers, Arkansas, Owensboro, Kentucky, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Tupelo, Mississippi, Gonzales, Louisiana. Why no Chicago? We're working on it. These are not active choices. These are not active choices. I do not pick because I hate another city. They come to us. They come to us. If we don't have a place in Wyoming, why aren't you asking for it in Wyoming? Why won't you ask? They come to us. They come to us. We don't go to them. They don't want to hear from us. They come to us. They come to us because you ask. That's how it works. Anyway, that's how it works. It actually is. So, yeah, literally, I would love it to be wherever you are. I would. It's not a betrayal. I swear. I swear it's not a betrayal. I'm not getting lost in my gigantic bathrooms and forgetting about your city. I don't even know your city exists sometimes. I would love it to be there. I don't even know if you have a movie theater. They gotta come to us. They gotta come to us. How do we ask again? Usually, they have an email, or they have a part of their website, or if you just call the movie theater, if you're local, or you go to the movie theater and you say, hey, do you have any means to request movies? You be very polite about it. It's not a demanding thing. This isn't like you must. It's literally they have a process for this. If enough people are asking for a movie, then they will show that movie. They will even do it for movies that wouldn't normally be in the repertoire. If enough people go like, I want to see Ratatouille in a movie theater, they'll figure out a way to do it. They want you to get tickets. They want your money for the tickets. They'll show you whatever you want. Really, it's all a movie theater is a place with a screen, right? A big screen and a nice sound system. They'll put on it whatever you want, right? This is actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can get a movie theater at any moment for any reason. If you're willing to book it, if you're willing to pay in advance for it, pay for the whole theater, then you're able to get whatever. You can watch YouTube on a movie theater for all they care. I'm pretty sure you can make that happen. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Right. So all you got to do is find, if they have an email that is about requests, you just write them an email saying like, hello, I am a normal patron of this movie theater. I live in this area. You don't have to give me your address or anything, but I live in the area. I go here all the time. I would love it if there could be this movie there. And you ask very politely. This isn't a demand campaign. That is just the only way that it works. And then they know, and then they have a team that is a buyer's team, right? So most movie theaters either have their own, or they have a conglomeration, or there's some kind of group that is a buyer's group, and they will go work usually with studios, or if it's independent, they'll work with whoever they can get a hold of. And right now, that's just the few people that we're doing this with, myself included, and they make it happen. And that is pretty much all there is to it. of the new locations that we have so far, should international fans be doing the same? I don't think it could hurt. I really don't. I don't think it hurts because I don't know what the difference is between showing a movie in A versus B, right? I don't know the difference. Can you get your distributors submitted to some film festivals? I don't. What are you not getting about this? It's us. We're the what? I need you to come here. I'm fucking come here. It's us. It's independent, which means it's us. There is no one else. There is no distributors. It's us. We're doing it. Okay, good. Glad I clarified that. I wanted you to really understand that. Okay. Cool, good. There's no one else. What do you mean, distributors? What do you mean? Get my distributors? My left hand or my right hand? Which one are you talking about? Which one do you mean? Anyway. Am I submitting it to festivals? No, it's going to theaters. Come here. I'm going to talk to you for a second. You are the festival. You're the festival. It's going to you. Why would it go to a festival? Okay. Sorry, let me get that for you. Anyway. Yes, you are the festival. This is the way that it goes. Yes, you are a festival. It is so true. It is so true. All right, good. You just got here. Yes. All right. So, how can I request it for? If it's just how can I request it for XYZ? All you gotta do is ask. Seriously, truly, honestly. If you have a movie theater that you go to, you just ask. They have processes to buy movies, and buying a movie is just communicating with me and the people that I work with, and that's it. And then if we can get it there, we will. That's all there is to it. But it's a lot of individual negotiating, right? So it's a lot of individual communication, which is why I've been very busy this weekend, and I'm probably going to be busy for quite a while. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Yeah. I don't even know what that means. How can small theaters get a hold of you regarding the movie? They are, right? So there's so many, and we can only respond to so many at a time. Come Monday, we're going to get more people involved, and they're going to also be a part of it because we have to scale up in accordance with it, right? So when it was just the first 50 or 60, those were pre-negotiated. We already talked to them. We reached out and we talked to people that wanted the movie, and we convinced them they were either believers or they had fans or were working there or they understood it or they were willing just to take a chance on it. It seemed like a cool concept. And we got them involved. Everything after that, when we started with 50 or 60 and now there's over 300 theaters part of it, every one of the 240 additional ones were emails that we just got. And that's for each one is a conversation for a theater, right? Sometimes there'll be a group like Harkins in Arizona. That's now part of it. So, or I think it's beyond Arizona too. There's Harkins movie theaters. It's actually in quite a few places, but I remember it specifically being in Arizona. Sometimes we'll get groups like that, smaller organizations. And I only say smaller because compared to like AMC and Cinemark, and you'll be able to work with that and get a few in there at a time. So it's a whole mystery, and this is not important to worry about. This is not something that you need to understand. This is not something you need to be concerned about. It is not your job to worry about this. If you want it, simply ask your local movie theater if they can, as politely as you can. We're doing our best to get it out there. If we can get it international, we will do our best to make that happen. I want as many people to see this as possible, and I will do everything I can to make sure that it is the best experience for everybody as possible. There's a lot of work leading up to that, but I am excited for it. I'm excited for it. Yeah, even if you're in Canada, it doesn't hurt to ask. I think that maybe that could kickstart the conversation. I really don't know if it's just as hard or just as easy for Canada, but I know it's more difficult for other international companies. But everyone has their own markets, and everyone gets to be a part of that. Yeah, I don't want you thinking that this is your job to do this. It's not. This is not a big campaign to do it. It is simply just, if you want it, request it. That's how they get their movies. So yeah. So yeah. I'm excited. And we had our premiere, and there's a thing about this movie process and a lot of things that I do. I'm very excited for people to see it, but I was also it was scary for people to see it because I'd been working on it for so long by myself, and we had a premiere, and other people were seeing it, people that are my peers and the actors that were part of it, all seeing it, and all I can ever see, because this is why I've always talked about, like, nothing anyone else says could ever affect me at all, because they don't know me, I don't know them, and I don't have nearly enough time to worry about what they think when I've got so much of what I think to worry about. So I only ever see, like, the flaws that are part of it, and I only see the mistakes that need to be fixed, or things that need to be tweaked, or things that I wish could have been. I'm usually pretty good about shrugging that stuff off, but people had such nice things to say about it. It made me feel crazy for even being worried about some things, because people were walking out of that movie just truly, honestly, not bullshitting me, and my bullshit detector is very high, of like congratulating me for getting this far, and really being impressed with what I made. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm very grateful for everyone. And if they didn't, then at least they were very good at lying, which is honestly admirable skill. But I as cynical as that does seem, and I don't want to seem cynical, I'm very grateful to the actors who have been a part of this, because it's just been tremendous. You got Carolyn Kaplan, who has just been just such a, I wish I could go into detail more, but in the trailer, you hear her voice the most, and you actually see her in the trailer. And then you've got Troy Baker, that was part of the project, and Elsie Lovelock, part of the project, and just all of them, and Elle Lamont, and just being able to work with them and really craft something special has been nice. And Andrew Hulshult's music just is so tremendous. I can't wait for you guys to hear the soundtrack of this fucking movie. It is so goddamn good. It's incredible. Man, it's super, super fun. And I'm just absolutely enamored with everyone's skill that they've brought into this, and the trust that they've placed in me, to be able to be a part of it. And I think that, I think that it's such a I heard this a lot, like, in the beginning phases, and I used to think that it was a negative thing, and I don't think it was then, and I really don't think it is now, but pretty much everyone said they've never seen anything like this, and I think that's really, really cool. I am incredibly grateful to have carried it this far and to do it, but I could not have done it without all the other people that are part of it, and most of all, Amy, of course. I always thank Amy incredibly for everything she's done to support me. No one else has had to endure the barrage of brainstorms and ideas and sanity checks than Amy has. If you don't know Amy, my wife, Amy, we just, oh man, she's just been such a rock on all of this. So it's been really something. So I got a lot of work left to do. Of course, I still do. But this is something crazy. It really is. And I can't help but thank you for it. I want to get this out, number one, because it deserves to be out. But number two, man, I want to get back to YouTube so badly. I want to get back to YouTube videos. So actually, I am going to be getting back into YouTube videos. I was going to record today, but my mom's in town. If you don't know, also my mom's book is coming out very soon, actually. We filmed some promotional for that. If you don't know, she wrote the book that we made a documentary about, but now the official book is finally coming out after a long delay. Markiplier from North Korea is coming out very soon. So that'll be cool. So a lot of things are finally coming to a head. And yeah, I know it seems like a long wait until this movie comes out, or maybe it doesn't, because January 30th, you know, it's right there. I really, really, really can't wait for you to see this. I'm super excited about it. I'm just so pumped. It's been such a long road, and it's been so disheartening sometimes to, like I said in the beginning of this, if you missed it, I wasn't able to work on it nearly as long, or for the consistency that people probably thought it was, because of all the other things that I had to deal with. And like I would get 1 to 2 days a week maybe to work on it, and that was just picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down. It's just like it was maddening to try to work on it like that, because it's just like I couldn't hold an idea in my head long enough to be able to get back into it. And so yeah, I would stack up days. I would try to record ahead in YouTube videos, record ahead in podcast episodes, so that I could get like a week, maybe 2 straight, just to work on it. And then something would happen in between there, and I wouldn't get all those days, and then I would get behind again, and I wouldn't able to record, and then I'd have to lose out on videos because I'm just so behind. And it's just been years of that, playing hopscotch on it over and over and over again. Yeah, but it's finally here, and then constantly talking with people about trying to make it happen, and trying to convince people in meetings after meetings after meetings, of pointless meetings, people that just didn't understand. And people that think, you know what's funny, this thing is, like, people think that I should be ashamed of calling myself Markiplier on these projects. I was like, no, anytime you see Markiplier on a project, that's because I put it there. Because that's my name. What do you think everyone who sees me on the streets calls me? It's Markiplier. It's not even something like a branding thing. It's just like, that's basically me. And I am not embarrassed in any way about that name, about being from YouTube. I am fucking proud of being from YouTube. I will shout it from the rooftops of where I came from, because where I came from made me able to do the things that I'm able to do. And it's going to keep making me able to do the things that I'm able to do all the way into the future. You know what I did before YouTube? Dick and diddly. I didn't do dick, but I did diddly, right? So I did plenty of that. Now, I don't give a fuck what anybody else says about what anybody else has done. I don't care. I'm the only critic I care about. I'm the only one that has an opinion that's going to negatively affect me. So, of course, I'm going to be more critical about it than anybody. And I want people to understand that there are other YouTubers far more talented than me that are trying to get their projects out there, too. And because I have a weird superpower about a lack of ability to understand what criticism even means, so I'm gonna keep going for it. Yeah. It's oh yeah, Garden of Band Pen. That's my next movie. 100%. 100%. Yeah. So yeah, no. That's why it says a film by Markiplier, because it is. And that's why at the beginning of the movie you're gonna see a big fucking Markiplier presents, because I'm fucking presenting it. Who else is doing it? Just me. Well, and all the other incredibly talented people that are helping me out. But hey, it's still me. And I'm gonna make you cry. I'm gonna make you fucking weep. I'm gonna make you fucking sob openly. You're fucking crying. Anyway, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a horribly depressing time, but it'll be a great time. I can't wait. Can't wait. Fuck yeah. Can't fucking. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm very excited. No, don't do this. Have you seen literally any of my other projects? Even the comedies, I kind of make you cry a little bit. So I don't know. I want you to feel something. I want you to feel something. I want you to feel something. Anyway. All right. I gotta go. I really do. Because tomorrow I have to play catch up on so many other things because I'm going to have a ton of meetings tomorrow. I know it. There's going to be nonstop calls, and I have to catch up on Cloak stuff, which has been rebuilding constantly. That's another thing that I've been working on all this year is rebuilding Cloak. And it's been going on really well, extremely well, except for the fact that I have to often be pulled away from movie stuff. But the team that has been working on there really well. Incredibly good team. Really, really good people. Like, I just, it's finally all existing, and it's all existing at a very cool time. As far as soundtrack, what that goes, basically the way I operate is the musician, it's their music. So Andrew Hulshult is going to be launching the soundtrack himself. I'll help him if he wants it, but that's all. I consider that him, right? I never like to take any of that, right? So I like to, because they made it and they basically lent their talent to the project, and that's incredible for them. So I'm hoping, and hey, if there's enough demand for it, I'm sure it'll happen. Yeah, and it is. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. God, it's so good. Anyway, all right, I gotta go. Thank you, everybody, so much. Really, thank you. Truly, honestly, I am unbelievably grateful to be able to be myself with you guys, to be able to work as hard as I do, not for the sake of any accolades of working hard, but because what I'm doing feels like it deserves to have my full attention on it. And it's been such an incredible learning experience. So good. That's the only thing I could ever take out of any of these projects is how much I've been able to learn from it and take that and channel it into the next thing. I am so excited to have all of these lessons that I've learned to be able to take into the next project. I've bled literally. I've poured everything of my soul into this just because I knew that the dividends that I was going to get back in terms of the education and the skills that I was going to build were going to be more than anything you could ever imagine. Like the toll it's taken on me has been immense, but also the amount that I've had to adapt and grow as a person is just, I cannot stress how sometimes as much as many people say, like, you should take care of yourself and burning out is bad, and it's not for the sake of the grind. I believe in destroying yourself for art sometimes. I believe in it. I believe it immensely. I believe in burning yourself to make something great. I believe in it. I'm not even saying I'm making great things. That's not what it's about. But to channel the feeling that maybe, just maybe, what all the sweat and the little sleepless nights is going to be making something that's just even a little bit good. That's, oh my God, it's like, I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to live my life where I can do that kind of thing. And it's all been the same thing I've been doing this entire time, is the opportunity to be that much better and to make something that like pushes that education just a little bit. I encourage all of you to try. Just really try your absolute hardest at one thing, and even if it doesn't seem like it does any reward, look inward at what you learned to make that thing happen. That is when my life started changing, right? When I actually felt like I had a paddle in the river of life that I was just floating through. I actually could direct myself. Not well at first, but I could direct myself, right? That's the only thing. All the other motivational bullshit you'll ever see in your life won't amount to dick or diddly, which, reminder, I was doing a lot of, but it's just about trying something. That's all it ever is, just trying something and then taking the lessons and not letting that be the last thing and keeping the chain going. Anyway, Have I tried bulldog ramen? Yes, I have. Yeah, absolutely. All right, and that'll be the last question. All right, thank you everybody so much. Take care. Check ironlung.com for your theaters. We are adding more all the time. I have more to add after this stream is done of the places that I saw. If you don't see your theater there, send a request. Thank you. And thank you everybody that did. Seriously. Don't feel like you ever need to send for a theater that's not yours, because that's not what we want anyway, and that's not what you want. But if you got a local theater that you like, they probably have a way to suggest it. So thank you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. In the next video. Bye-bye. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.